Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily if you are new, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a shop, DIY, and decorate with me. We are going to be redoing my entryway completely, changing it up. I'm just not happy with it. It's a really large wall and I was trying to work two different areas with it and I just didn't like the way it was coming out. So I'm going to take you guys shopping first. I'm looking at a couple larger signs for the space because it is so large. These ones ended up being just a little bit too small. I've been playing around with the entryway for a while, just not showing you all, and I've just been so frustrated with it that I was just like, I'm just going to scrap the whole idea and start fresh. So we are actually going to be making a really nice piece of furniture for it that hopefully will inspire you to make one too. And I will be sharing a couple items with you that I picked up at home as well as TJ Maxx, which I'm really excited about. And then I'm going to be busting out some of my fall decor and decorating it for fall. So I hope you are excited for this combination. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new. I'd absolutely love to inspire and motivate you here. So I think I got all the accessories I need to decorate the entryway, but now I'm actually going to head on to Harbor Freight. I actually found a coupon for 20% off an item. I actually need to get a bigger clamp for the DIY I'm going to show you guys how to make. So I'm hoping that they have it and then I can get 20% off, which would be amazing, using the Buxpo app. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but you can download it. It's in the description box below. It's really neat though because it's basically a coupon and cashback app all in one. Basically download the app and then you'll turn on your location services and it'll pull up all the local deals that are going on in your area, and then all you have to do is click on whatever store you're wanting to shop at and then it will give you a coupon for either a certain percentage off or like certain amount of money off your purchase, or it'll give you something free. I would definitely recommend checking out the Buxpo app though, because it not only saves you at, like, let's say Harbor Freight for instance, but you can shop local restaurants on there, entertainment, museums, save money on groceries, also earn cash back on it. So it's just a nice way to earn and save money with your everyday purchases and things that you need for your household. So I like it. I'm enjoying it so far. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well and be able to save yourselves a little bit of money and make a little bit of money at the same time. I also want to say thank you to them for sponsoring this portion of the video and allowing me to help support my family and also save money as well. I am back home from shopping and this is all the wood that I picked up. So what I ended up getting, 1x3. This is what I used on my last pew, so I wanted to get that just in case. I also got a 1x4, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet for the front. I got a 2x2, a 1x2. I got a 1x6 by 18 feet. And I just had them cut it into 3s for me. 2x8s right here, and I have 2 of those cut at 6 feet. The best thing to do is to buy the larger boards and just have them cut them for you. You'll save a little bit of money. There's my 1x4 if I'm going to use that. This is a 2x10, and you'll just get a 12-foot one. So you'll get 2 sections cut at 3 feet, and then you'll get 2 cut at 2 feet. And have the store cut it for you like you saw. They did the mine for me because my saw only cuts to 6 inches. So I like them to do the bigger boards for me. I also picked up a 1 by 16 by 6 feet, and I did this for the purpose of putting it over possibly the bench boards, because my other pew is just like this. So instead of having the gap, I'll just place this on here. But the 2 by 2s or the 2 by 8s give me the strength to hold the seat and people sitting on it. So it's completely optional to you what you want to do. You could also use this for the back if you didn't want to do 3 boards. After the fact, I was kind of like, why didn't I just buy 2 of these and not do these? You can do what you want. Mix and match is totally fine. Also, because of staining, if you're going to paint it, it doesn't matter really what boards you're going to use, but because I'm staining, you want your back and your base and your seat to be the same woods, because they're going to stain differently. I picked up 4 of these brackets, and these are actually going to go under the seat to help support them. I like these a lot because, well, they're pretty strong. So those are optional. Again, you can just use the 2 by 2 like I've done in the past. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the bench is going to be 6 feet in length, so you can make whatever length you want. This cost me a little over $100 because of the stain. So if you already have stain, then it'll cost you less, and of course if you make a shorter pew, then it will cost you less. My last one was like 65 bucks, so just depends on what you got. Now, I did an entire video a while back on how to make a pew. You can go watch that. I'll leave that link down below for more in-depth tutorial. But basically, I have this is a 2 by 10 that is 3 feet in length, and then I also have one that's 2 feet in length right below it. And I am putting pocket holes in this. That way I can hide my screws. I'm using a Craig jig for this. You can find this anywhere. They make different types. This is just the one I have, so I have to clamp it down. And I'm alternating the holes, so I'm going to suck these together, one from the right, one from the left, and I recommend using an impact drill. That way it'll just suck it in, and it's just a lot nicer than just a regular drill. I actually would rather have just this than a normal drill. So you can do what you want. I will leave all the products linked in the description box below if you are interested, and of course they're always linked in my Amazon store if you're ever curious where I get a lot of my stuff. Now I'm using a piece of paper as a template on the very bottom, just kind of to trace out the design I want. Now on my last pew, I showed you how I did it for the legs too. You draw whatever design you want, give it as many curves or make it more square. It's up to you what you want to do. Now I'm clamping it onto my works table, and I'm going to use my jigsaw next to cut out where I have all my lines, and I'm just going to follow the trace lines on the wood. Now I'm just going in with my sander with an 80 grit and smoothing out all of the edges, and you'll want to sand down all of your boards as well before you go in and stain them. So just so you know, that'll be done even if I don't show it. So now that I have the one done, I'm going to use it as a template for the next one, and you must make sure that you place the pocket holes where you have the screws facing each other. Otherwise, they will be the wrong way. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You want them to face each other, that way you know they won't be showing in the end. Now I am taking my 2 by 2 and I cut this down, and it depends on how high you want your seat. This, I believe I cut this down to around 14 inches or so, and then the bottom was just under 16. I'm using again wood glue here just to add some strength to it. I'm using pre-drill, and then I'm going in with my screws. And for this, I believe I'm using 2-inch screws. You want to make sure whatever size screws you're using that do not go through the other side of your wood. So you can measure the depth if you need to for that. Now I'm just measuring the other one that I've already attached. Now you can see how I have my L brackets here. I added these this way because on my last pew I didn't have them, and I had to add one later on with a 2 by 6 underneath. So this is just going to add added strength to the bench to hold it because it is so long. If you're making a short one, let's say 3 feet long, you don't need them. Just use your 2 by 2. You'll be completely fine. So now that those are attached, I did mine at a slight angle, so you lean backwards just a little bit, as well as the seat is just at a teeny bit of an angle as well. Just make sure that they're you know, even. And then I'm pre-drilling on the back because I'm going to be screwing in my boards. Now for the bottom, I'm placing the 2 by 8 down first, and this is again 6 feet in length, and then I'm pre-drilling again so I don't split my wood, and doing that on each side. And then I will go in with my screws. Here I believe I'm using 3-inch screws. Now again, this is optional. I'm adding the pine board that's already done on top just so that I don't have the crease there. I'm adding tons of wood glue as well. Again, it's optional, but might as well secure it. And I'm pushing that down, and then I will suck that up from the bottom of my 2 by 8s that are down there. So I pre-drilled and then I'm sucking them up from there. That way there are no screw marks on my wood. It'll all be underneath in the inside of the bench. Now it's time to add the back pieces, which are the 1 by 6 by 6 feet in length, and I add those in, just dry fitting them first. Some of them fit just fine, other ones I had to nip off just a little bit because again, not everything's going to be completely square, so don't worry about that. Once you get that dry fitted and you got it the way you want it to look, then take them off, and then you're going to add a little bit of glue on the edges. That way it will glue to the 2 by 2 on the back. And then again, I've already pre-drilled, and then I'm going to take 1 3/4 inch screws is what I believe I used for this part, and then I'm going to put 2 screws in each board on each side, and then just line them up and go all the way up to the top. Now I'm taking a 1 by 2 and putting that on the back just for some added support. That way my boards don't warp. And these are the size screws that I'm using. Again, I pre-drill, that way nothing cracks. And these screws will not go through the front of your bench, which is exactly what you want. And then for the bottom, I'm going to be doing 2 supports. They're going to be 2 by 2s. And I'm going to be alternating them as you can see here, and again I pre-drill and then I'll suck them up from the bottom. For this I believe I'm using 3-inch screws or 2.5-inch screws, but that way they suck all the way up to the other boards. Now we're on the finishing touches part. I'm going to be using a 1 by 4 earlier. I said I wasn't sure what size I was going to use, so I'm just using my DeWalt nailer here, and I'm going to be adding glue just to the edges where it's going to be touching the wood. And again, I've already sanded this down, and you're going to want to smooth out all your glue and apply that every spot you need to, and then you're going to push that up onto the bottom, and that's going to cover up all of our support beams on the very bottom. And then I'm just going to be using my brad nailer here and securing that. I'm using 1-inch screws, so nothing too extreme, and I'm putting about 8 or 9 in there. Next step is to finish it. You can paint it, you can leave it natural, you can stain it. I'm going to be staining it. I'm using 2 different colors. I tested it on the back of the bench, which you did not see, but I wanted it to be pretty dark like my pew in the kitchen. So I'm using Jacob Bean first, and I'm brushing that on with a brush just very lightly, and then I'm going in with the ebony color, which is what I bought, and I'm brushing that on, and then I'm taking my rag and I'm rubbing that into the wood, making sure that's all nice. So I know it looks really bad just brushed on, but you take your rag and you get that on there. Make sure you wear gloves. These gloves are really nice. I like them a lot. They lasted me for years, and they keep your hands from being stained, and let me tell you, stain is not fun to get out. So you can see here how I'm just kind of slapping it on there. A little bit goes a long way. I didn't use any pre-stain. You totally can if you want to, but I don't find it necessary all the time. So it's completely up to you, but you can see how nice and rich that color is. If I would have just used ebony, it ends up being more washed out. So the Jacob Bean makes it look really rich and everything. I let that dry overnight, then I went in with my finished clear coat, and this is by Minwax. I actually prefer Varathane, but they don't have that one. It's a triple thick. This one's supposedly triple thick. You know, get what you get. But I let this dry, and then I sanded it down with a 400 grit, and I let that air out for 2 days. That way it wouldn't stink up my house. But this is the way the pew looks. It's gorgeous. I actually added a trim piece on each edge that you can see there on the inside, but it looks beautiful, and I love the way the color turned out. Oh, I'm so happy with it. I also wanted to show you a couple things I picked up at the store. I got these eucalyptus leaves for $12.99 at TJ Maxx, and there's 4 stems. The best price I've ever found for eucalyptus leaves. I also got this pumpkin that says blessed on it with a little bit of gold, and that was $5.99 from TJ Maxx. And then the last thing I got from TJ Maxx was this really cute end table. I actually probably should have picked up another one because I just like the soft gold that's on there. This is an orchid that I got from At Home, and I've actually had this for a little bit, but I thought this would be a nice touch. I actually might use it for winter. You'll have to let me know which one you prefer. But I like it on the table. I just really like it. And then lastly, I got these 3 mirrors from the At Home store. They were really decent price, 22 bucks a piece, and I like the finish on them. They have like a little bit of a gold but brown in them. So now I'm going to be taking them out of the box and getting them hung up on the wall. I was so annoyed because they put 2 hooks for each way to hang this, so I don't like using 2 hooks. I prefer just using 1, especially when you're doing multiple items. So I just removed one of them, and then I just centered it on the mirror, and it's really lightweight, so it was just fine, and it went in really easy. I didn't have to pre-drill or anything. And then I decided to take the other mirrors and lay them out on the pew. That way I could see how far apart I would like them to be placed, and that way they're centered with the pew. And then also I could take my measurements and then mark those on the wall and attach them. Now finally, for the really fun part, it's time to actually decorate the pew. I am using these pillow covers. I actually got these pillows from Home Goods probably 6 or 7 years ago, and they're really pretty. They have like this beaded detail, and I just thought they're just enough glam for me to dress up the house and not make it too farmhouse. looking. I also picked up this pillow from TJ Maxx. It was like 15 bucks and I really liked the neutral, but also the frayed edges on it. I thought it just kind of lightened it up a little bit. I'm really enjoying mixing and matching a few things here. This house is way different than my last one, so I'm really getting out of my comfort zone here and trying different things. And so I had originally planned on doing a board and batten on this entire wall, but the wood wouldn't fit in my car. So the next best thing was to make a pew and make it work. Because the table, I could not find a table long enough for the actual entryway. So that is why I made the pew to begin with. Now I'm getting out all my fall decor. I actually have one more bin of just pumpkins that I forgot about. But I have a couple fall pillows in here that I want to use. And I'm going a little bit more on the neutral side for the entryway, so I'm going to be using this other pumpkin pillowcase that has beads on it. This one also came from Home Goods last year, so it was a pretty find, and went ahead and stuffed that. Now I'm going to be adding this table to the side, and then I'm going to be adding my pumpkin as well as the orchid. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that, and then the other greenery is also from TJ Maxx, and it was like $6, but I've had that for a few years. So since I don't have another end table, I'm just going to be putting a fiddle leaf tree that I've had from Hobby Lobby for a couple years there. It's not the best, but I think, I don't know, I'm not really sure about the orchid. I think that looks maybe a little bit more wintry, so I'm going to change that out and use my gold vase that I got from Walmart, and then put the eucalyptus in here, and then also add in some wheat that I got from Hobby Lobby last year. I think it's really pretty. I'm actually going to add a couple other florals to here that I had originally in the entryway. I just didn't add it for this video, but it has a teeny bit of pink in it, which I feel like will fluff it up a little bit, but like transition the two colors, because right now it just looks a little off to me. And then I also have some pumpkins that I thought might be fun to layer on the bottom. I'm not sure if I'll keep them there, probably not. But I was just kind of playing with a few different things, and I like showing you guys what I ended up doing. I actually have a shorter basket for this tree, but I can't find it, so for now I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to layer in this really pretty plaid blanket that I have, and it's actually just a piece of material. And I'm going to layer a couple pumpkins on there just to bring in more of that fall touch and warm up the space a little bit, and then layer on a couple things. But I think in the end, this is the look I'm going to go with. I still think it would be nice to put another end table on this side just to balance it out a little bit. But for now, this is what I'm working with, and I really like it. Again, the eucalyptus, I got to change it just a little bit. But I really love the way this whole came out. It's long enough to fill up the entryway without cluttering it, and it's a very useful space, and I can decorate it seasonally. So I'm really excited about this. You guys can let me know what you think, and if I need to change anything. This house has definitely been a process, especially this area. I have tried a few things, wanted to try a few things, and it failed, and that's okay. I think that's part of the fun of decorating, is just kind of going with the process. But I hope you all have been inspired to make something today and decorate your homes for fall. I have lots more fall decorating coming for you with the rest of the house, so hopefully you are excited about that. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to check out my last video, which is a fall shop with me. There's something in that for you all as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Have a beautiful day.